This is the True Self Manifestation Podcast with your host, Angel Menudo. I am a licensed psychotherapist, certified clinic coach, and a little woo with a passion for manifestation and internal family systems. Through the years, I noticed that New Age manifestation practices relied on spiritual bypassing and positive thinking only, instead of getting to the root of potential blocks and barriers for building your self-worth. Then, I found internal family systems, and it changed the way I saw manifestation. Each week, I will discuss how to use IFS to tap into your true self energy, build your worth, and work with the parts that are sabotaging your manifestations, and frankly, your life. This is not the law of attraction. This is getting to the root of what's blocking your manifestations so that you can be open to the universe and manifest the life you've always wanted. So join me on this journey to learn how to live in alignment with your true self and break free from limiting beliefs, past programming, conditioning, expectations, and societal pressures, and the other things that are keeping you stuck from living your best life. It's not a coincidence you're here. Welcome to the True Self Manifestation Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of the True Self Manifestation Podcast. It's been a minute, but I'm really happy to be back. I have been going back and forth with what I wanted to talk about today on this podcast. I really couldn't make up my mind. I wasn't sure. So I asked the universe for guidance, and the phrase, imagine if, kept coming to mind. And I really like the idea around imagine if. It's to think about what it would look like, feel like, be like when you manifest the things you want without the blocks, the barriers, the constraints. Who would you be? How would you know something changed? This is when we know we can put that energy into the universe and manifest. Very exciting, right? In the last episode, episode 9, I talked about how to identify if a part is blocking your manifestations. If you're on my email list, you also received an infographic walking you through the exercise as well. And if you're not on my email list, please sign up. I send out a weekly newsletter, and I do try to add little fun bonuses here and there, like that infographic. Check it out in the show notes to sign up, okay? The concept around that exercise, though, from episode 9, it was to be able to gain awareness of potential parts blocking a particular manifestation. If there is a part blocking, you can begin talking to it and working with it to help it allow you to bring this manifestation in. But today, I want to go further. I want you to be able to envision what it would be like if that manifestation came through. It can be the love of your life, a dream apartment, a fabulous new job, money, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. And remember, manifestations are bringing our hopes, dreams, and goals to reality through working with the universe, being in our worth, aligning our energy with what we are calling in, and taking action steps towards that goal. This shows the universe that you are ready, that you are serious about what you want. It's about tapping into our intuition so we can follow those intuitive hits the universe is giving us as she guides us on our path. And on that note, I do have a free offering, How to Tap into Your Intuition. It's a guide on how to become mindful and connected with yourself. Recognize if you're in the present or not. Being present and mindful of what is going on inside of you is so important to connecting to your intuition. This guide also has a couple of my favorite techniques to help you regulate your nervous system if you're not in the present moment. This is seriously chock full of information and would be helpful to anyone trying to work with the energy of the universe to manifest. Tapping into our intuition is fundamental in manifesting. The link is in the show notes, or you can go onto my website, trueselfmanifestation.com, to get it. So pause this and do it now and come right back to me. Okay, so let's begin. I wanted to do a little exercise today to start off. And so if you're driving, wait till you get home to do this exercise. But this exercise is designed to guide you towards your manifestations. Begin by getting into a comfortable position. It can be sitting down, it could be lying down, whatever you feel most comfortable. Taking a few cleansing breaths. Close your eyes and envision one of the things that you'd like to manifest. Then I want you to ask yourself these questions. First, imagine if you woke up tomorrow and your manifestation came through. What would this manifestation look like for you? Where are you? Who are you with, if anyone? What would be different? As you're envisioning yourself within this manifestation, what do you notice? Any thoughts? Any body sensations? Can you look around and feel totally encapsulated in this vision? By any chance, do you see anything that might be a clue as to how to propel yourself closer to that manifestation? Most importantly, though, how would you feel emotionally if and when this manifestation comes through? Like, really feel and sit with these feelings. Let them wash over you. Is it happiness, joy, a sense of peace, calmness? Maybe it's freedom, security, confidence, self-love. If this is a little difficult to identify, you can always ask yourself, what would you no longer feel emotionally? Maybe you would no longer feel stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, or numb. No longer feel undeserving, unworthy. You won't feel limited or frustrated. And if those feelings are no longer there, what feeling or feelings would you like this manifestation to evoke? Now, if you're sitting there thinking of things, like things just start popping up, like thoughts of like, you're never going to get this manifestation. It's too hard to even think about it. Maybe you feel anxious or overwhelmed when trying to envision yourself already at the finish line. Remember that these are parts. You can ask them to take a step back and unblend from you while you're doing this exercise. You can even ask yourself, why am I trying to bring in this manifestation? What is it fulfilling for you? What does it mean to you to have this manifestation? How will your life change when this manifestation comes through? Who will you become? Who are you becoming just in the process of this work? This is a time to feel inspired. I want you to be able to sit in the feelings that this manifestation is evoking and really soak it in. Integrate it into your body. This is what you've been working towards. This is who you are meant to be. Free from those constraints, limiting beliefs, past programming, and conditioning. How will you shine? How will you be empowered to move forward in this direction when you open your eyes? Ooh, I love this. Right? Like, I feel like tingly just even saying it. Like, this is very exciting for me. It's like when I say empowered, I feel like it is. It's very empowering just to think of like what it is that we really, really want in life and feel that, have those feelings, those emotions, like evoke how it feels mentally, physically, emotionally. That right there, oh, it's so powerful. So when we're doing this, it doesn't have to be specific. You don't have to envision the exact person you want to fall madly in love with. Instead, you could focus on qualities, traits, how this person will make you feel. Or with a new job, it doesn't have to be an exact place, but it can be a generalization. Are you trying to manifest a work from home job? Envision what it would look like if you were working from home. Same with money. It doesn't have to be an exact amount in your bank account, but what would it feel like to have financial freedom? What would that look like? What would be different? Sometimes we think we want something specific, but in reality, it is a feeling that we're trying to evoke. So the universe might give you something else instead. It doesn't mean that it's wrong because it isn't the specific thing that you're trying to bring in. It just means that the universe understands deep down what we really want or need. So that's just something I want you to think about and to take into consideration. It's kind of the idea of we can work towards our manifestations, but sometimes we recognize that what we think is the right path isn't. And that's why tapping into our intuition and listening for those clues from the universe helps keep us on the right path, because we have an idea of what direction we might be having to go in, but the universe has a whole other idea about it. And we always wind up in the same spot eventually. But if we follow the universe, I mean, we're going to get there quicker. Let's be honest. Just wanted to say that. So I found that I personally can manifest specific things as well as non-specific things. So I'll give you a couple of examples that I'll share of things that I've manifested through the years. When my partner and I were looking for an apartment a few years ago, I decided to make a list of what I wanted in that apartment so that I can manifest it. And we did find the apartment, all the way down to the color of the bathrooms. It also had off-street parking, which was difficult in the area we were looking for, in-unit laundry, central air. It hit everything on my list and more. And it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I also manifested our current house. Now, this one was less specific, I guess you can say. I often joke that I manifested our house accidentally because I would say lots of times that I didn't want to stay in where I live, Buffalo, New York, because of the very cold winters. I said the only way I would stay in Buffalo was if I had an indoor pool, thinking that this is never going to happen. But I did somehow put it out into the universe, and apparently she had plans for me to stick around here a little while longer. One day, I opened an email from Zillow, which usually advertised houses in California because I was always looking there. At the time, I wanted to move to California, Topanga, to be exact. Instead, though, it advertised a house that it thought I might like in Buffalo. I scoffed at this mint green house. But something told me to just click on the link, so I did. As I was flipping through the pictures, rolling my eyes at this house, I eventually got to the one that stopped me in my tracks. There was a pool in the house. Not only that, but it was in the living room. Not in its own separate space, but the living room. The living room is down a few steps off the kitchen and dining room, and they both opened up and overlooked the living room and the pool. Let me tell you something. I was in love. The price was actually reasonable. That was because this wasn't a mansion with a pool. On the contrary, it was actually an older house with an addition put on that enclosed what used to be an outdoor in-ground pool. Kind of cool, right? So I sent the listing to my partner and asked him to call his friend, who's a realtor, and get us a tour. A few days later, we were going through the house, and I got this vibe that this was right. This was where we needed to be. At the time, it was the middle of the pandemic, and although I loved our apartment, it was not working with our schedules and working from home and everything. We just needed more space. And with this house, space is what we got. And I'll be honest, it wasn't all beautiful. As I said, the house is old. Things have broken. Major things. The pool turned purple at one point. Don't even ask. But it was what we needed at the time. This is what I mean by less specific manifestations coming in. You can manifest from a feeling, or like I said, accidentally manifest something. If the universe wanted me to stick around for a little bit, this was the way she was going to get me to do it. And this house evoked a feeling. I wanted space, a sanctuary, a calming environment that I could design and decorate and work and do my hobbies. And as I grow and evolve, though, so do my wants, my desires, my dreams, my goals. I've realized that, pool or not, winters in Buffalo are still unbearable for me. I can no longer take the cold. My body hates it. The lack of sunlight truly depresses me in the winter. Sanctuary or no sanctuary. So now I'm manifesting a move to Tulum, Mexico. This is something that's very much in alignment with both me and my partner. There's a vibe in Tulum I haven't felt anywhere else. I am called to it, and I feel my absolute best when I am there, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Our house has served its purpose, as the apartment did. But it's now time to shift into something more fitting within the next couple of years. And that's the thing. We can manifest things, and then when we get them, we might come to realize that they weren't exactly what we wanted after all. Or we just continue to expand, and it's a natural progression. Shifts and changes in what our goals are, what we desire, what we want to manifest. It doesn't mean it was wrong. It served its purpose somehow. We grow and we continue to transform. It's okay to have a different perspective of things after the manifestation comes through. It really doesn't hurt anything, and it's just part of our path. So there was a couple of examples of things I've manifested, and I've manifested all sorts of things through the years, big and small. Beginning with small things helps build trust in ourselves and intuition. And being able to go through that exercise will help bring you closer to your manifestations because you're experiencing what it feels like in your mind's eye, which then helps you open up to having this in real life. And because I think that this exercise is a wonderful way of evoking the right space for you to manifest. I turned it into a handout. It has all of the questions I asked right there on it, and you can use it anytime with whatever it is you're trying to manifest. The link is in the show notes, so go and grab it. I did this because I want you to feel empowered to know what it is you want and how it will feel to get it. And it also helps the parts feel how good this manifestation will be as well. So not only are you opening yourself up to the universe and to the possibility of it by envisioning this in your mind's eye as it is, as you are in it, you're also teaching the parts of you that it is possible as well. I mean, right there, how freaking cool. Love it. So if you do this, I'd love to hear from you too. So try to do the exercise, and then you can email me at angel@trueselfmanifestation.com and tell me how it went. I do read and respond to all of the emails, so I'd love to hear from you. Anything that happened, like good things, bad things, whatever, you need to troubleshoot, throw me an email. All good. But I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed doing it. Thank you for listening to another episode of the True Self Manifestation Podcast. Take care, everybody. Happy manifesting. Thank you for listening to the True Self Manifestation Podcast. Check out the show notes for any links mentioned here. And while you're at it, grab my free mindfulness check-in guide to help you reconnect with yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. And please leave a review where you listen to podcasts. And if you love this episode, share it with a friend. Thanks again. See you soon.